Two Katy residents are each being held on a $100 million bond in Colorado.
100 million?
Of being part of a mail theft operation.
Mail theft.
Only on 13, reporter Micah Hanfield looked through court records to figure out exactly what the pair is accused of doing.
You know, I just got to stop right there and just say that $100 million bail is really what makes this situation more interesting than not, because we see these type of cases all the time. I actually just covered a case similar to this, and I think it's one of the most heinous crimes that anyone can commit when they are stealing from or committing any crime towards postal workers or our mail service, because that should be protected. That should be something that you should never, ever tamper with. It's kind of like poisoning the water supply for a state or a town. It's like going into the water tower and just poisoning it. And your family lives in that town. Like, messing with the mail service is just disgusting behavior. And so I think $100 million is just fine. It's weird though that they get $100 million and there's people that, I don't cover this type of content, but you know, there's people that delete people, assault people. I don't cover any type of violent crimes or anything like that. I mean, there's plenty of it out there for me to cover. I'm not thirsty for that type of content. Now, I just want to say that when people do crimes like that, a lot of times there's overwhelming evidence. They're caught on tape doing it. They're at the nightclub and they get into it and they shoot somebody and they're right there on camera. You see the muzzle flash. You see them toss the gun and run out of the club and go hide, and they'll get caught and then they'll get like a bail of like 300 grand or like less than $1 million or like 50,000 or. So these bails are really, really like not consistent. So I'm glad that they did this in this case. Let's look a little bit more and see exactly what they did. But this bail actually makes this case more interesting than most, because we see this all the time. This is nothing new.
Two $100 million bonds, that's certainly something that'll catch your eye. The two in this case are charged with a combined 51 counts, everything from theft to money laundering to burglary. Through surveillance efforts, court records say police in Parker, Colorado caught 27-year-old Brevin Pogue at...
Hey, real quick. I just got it home. Let me see. How do you pronounce? I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me see.
25-year-old Diana Amador Inamorado.
Diana I already forgot to say it. Let me give it a voice.
7-year-old Brevin Pogue and 25-year-old Diana Amador Inamorado.
All right, I'm not pronouncing that again, so I'll let her... You heard how she said it. Now I just want to say this. She did a little bit with the money. She invested in herself, because those lips, those are definitely lip injections. So I will say at least she invested the money in herself. It was a bad investment, but you know, she tried and failed. God, her lips look terrible.
Emptying mailboxes outside of a number of post offices and cluster boxes in the Denver area one night in June, although the two are believed, based on court records, to have done it before. The pair is Houston's own, while they have Katy addresses to be specific. According to court records, police searched a hotel room and an Airbnb that they were staying at in Denver and found stacks of stolen mail, $70,000 in cash, more than 577 checks believed to be stolen, USPS Arrow keys that unlock the cluster mailboxes, and a notebook with storage unit addresses where money was being kept. Wow. During the course of the investigation, Parker, Colorado police contacted a postal inspector in the Dallas-Fort Worth area who was investigating stolen checks posted for sale online. In a search warrant filed here in Harris County, Pogue...
So... why do criminals, they can never create an underground network. They're so lazy that they go online and post their criminal activities. If anybody's ever, and I'm pretty sure that everybody's had it at one point, they've had a Snapchat, right? Snapchat is probably one of the worst places when it comes to people trying to advertise drugs. Like, people really be on there. I ain't got nothing to really show, but they be on there. I'll use my tissue box. They be on there like this. This be a whole box of marijuana, and they be like, and they be showing it off, showing the crystals, naming it, saying how much it costs. You know, 150 for an ounce, 2,300 for a pound, and they even go into harder drugs than that. Mostly you see like the runts, the cookies, all those different types of things on there. And then sometimes it even gets crazy where they're advertising Coke. And Fenty gets a really bad name, so you don't really see that on there very often. But, you know, these are people that, you know, you go on there and that's what's on their story. There's advertising just drugs, like right there. And these people always end up in jail eventually. But that's how lazy they are. They can't even get up out of the house and actually create a network. So these people, same way, lazy.
Posted for sale online.
Posted
in a
for
search
sale
warrant
online.
filed here in Harris County, Pogue was identified as possibly being part of those sales. And then this story takes another bizarre twist. After the pair's arrest, Pogue was heard on a jail call telling a family member to get the money out of their storage unit and to call a locksmith if needed. Through court records,
Wow.
Officials knew they had at least 3 storage units, one in Denver.
So he didn't even care. Like, these people have zero remorse. Zero remorse. He's in jail and he could possibly get himself a lighter sentence or try to work with the police, try to get some of these people their money back, which, I mean, look, he did get caught, but I'm just saying, like, at that point, he could have started his path on retribution and restoration. But instead, he tried to call somebody on a jail phone, still, again, thirsty. I mean, completely just lazy, never set up a plan beforehand to have these things already pre-planned out. Hey, if I get bumped, I need you to go hit every storage unit, get the cash out, bury it here, put this money towards my lawyer, take this out for yourself, put this over here for my kids. He thought none of this out. And you on, what, Facebook, advertising your crimes and your schemes? Man, team, like, this is, they deserve it should be higher. The bail should be, there shouldn't even be a bail. Now that I think about it, there shouldn't even be a bail. You know, we'll get into it. Let's finish this. There's like a minute left. We'll let it play out.
Arizona, and one here in Katy. When law enforcement searched their public storage unit in Denver, a search warrant says they found mail and packages not in their names, 100 grams of cocaine, marijuana, and about $10,000 in cash. Nothing of note was found in Tempe, Arizona. At the public storage here on Clay Road in Katy, authorities turned up 2 laptops, some ripped open envelopes, and a few keys, but no cash. A review of surveillance video found during the same time frame as the jail phone call to get the cash, 2 women associated with the units showed up with gardening shears and headed toward the unit, but officials were not able to determine if they actually got into it. ABC 13 expects to learn more on this case in the coming weeks. Near downtown, Micah Hatfield, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, they got out of there with the cash. They beat the cops to the chase. And the cops had the jail phone recorded, so what took them so long to get the transcription? I know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. The transcript, yeah. What took them so long to get the transcript of the phone call so they could beat them to the punch? Plus, y'all had the notebooks with the addresses they had the paper trail all laid out for you. And you still allowed some random family members to go there with gardening shears, cut the locks, and get the cash out. So, I mean, you're not seeing that well, I mean, you can hunt down the family members, but, like, honestly, like, yeah, y'all, the police screwed that up. So, bad job by the police there. That's all we got for this story, as far as what the news is giving us. So, we'll talk a little bit about it. So, for me, like, I think that, you know, alluded to earlier, this is one of the worst crimes that you can ever do. It's terrible. And these are the same people that they're very dangerous too, because They're so thirsty to get these master keys, you can call them, and they're the ones that can open up any mailbox, right? So the mail carriers, which they should be protected. The mail carriers should be protected at all times. Like, you should never want to hurt a mail carrier like you wouldn't want to hurt an innocent kitten. You know? Like an innocent puppy. Like, it shouldn't be you see a little innocent kitten just born, you know, feeding off his mother. His mother goes out to hunt and, you know, collect food and nurture her body so she can come back and feed the kitten. And the kitten's in the nest, and it's just sitting there, and it can't be touched, or, you know, it can't do any harm. And you just want to hurt the kitten. That's what a mail carrier is. And when I see mail carriers, I thank them, have a conversation with them, let them know how much I appreciate them and, you know, the meticulous work that they do. Especially, and I'll just go into this as far as what mail carriers, one of the reasons I would never want to be a mail carrier is because you have to deal with apartment buildings and security door access, gaining access. You got to deal with dogs and people having their dogs out in the yard, and you got to get through their fencing they don't leave their mailbox like outside, but their mailbox is like right on their door. But then they got animals in there, and they don't pedicure their lawn. I mean, it's just a lot that mail carriers have to deal with. And the last thing they need to have to deal with is people trying to rob them for their master keys. And there was just a mail carrier killed in Chicago about a month ago because they were trying to rob her. Or was it a him? I think it was a woman. It was a woman. So, look, man, it's just terrible, and I don't respect these people at all. I hope they never get out of prison until they complete their sentence. Definitely not on anything like a bail. I don't know how long they should get in prison. That's not up for me to decide. But I know that what they did is unacceptable behavior. So it's just all bad. And I'm surprised that they set such a high bond. But the more that I think about it, they shouldn't have set a bond at all. There shouldn't be a bond. They should stay in jail until they get sentenced. Now, I don't feel like that about all crime, because I do feel like there's levels to crime. And I feel like this is one of the highest, right? They didn't go to Target and steal a loaf of bread. So there's just really no comparison. All right, let's see. We are going to go dark for this just because of the nature of the crime. Just because of the nature of the crime. Like, what are y'all doing? And for the criminals, when are you going to figure out a way to get out of the game? You made a lot of money to the point where this is state by state. You're in Colorado. You're in Houston. You got storage units set up all throughout. You're going across state lines. You got ledgers that you set up. Like the guy in Casino that had the heart attack when the police found his ledger of everything that the crime family did, and he knew it was over. You know, you got paper trails, and all for what? So you could just never stop doing it? So, I don't know. Criminals, and they're lazy. They spend things on stuff they don't even need. Like, they don't help anybody else out. At least, like, back in the day, criminals had, like, somewhat of a good reputation. Like, maybe you could look like at, like, an Aladdin or something like that, or a Robin Hood, steal from the rich and give to the poor. When you steal from the mail system, you're, like, stealing from the poor as well. Like, you're stealing from everybody. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, yourself. Like, you use the mail. What if you're waiting on a check, or what if you're waiting on important papers to come and somebody steals it from you and you can't get it, and you didn't do anything wrong to cause it? This isn't like you're on the phone with Nigerian scammers and they're sitting here manipulating you and talking you into giving them your one-time passcode so they can access your bank account and transfer the funds out. Hey, could you give it to me? I needed your I'm sending you one-time passcode. So you can give it to me your one-time passcode, and I'll fix it to your account and make sure that we secure it to your account. One-time passcode comes in. Oh yeah, my one-time passcode is 602584. Okay, we going into accounting now and we fix it. Oh, we just need you to confirm on your phone. It's gonna give you a notification. You just click green check mark and it allow access to us to be able to fix your account, did it? Okay, I just clicked the check mark. Okay, we are good. We are going to credit you for all of the money that could possibly have been stolen from your account. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. 30 minutes later, you check back in your account and it's negative 31,000. All your money's been transferred and wired out. Like those are the things where, you know, you didn't call the bank yourself. You allowed them to call you. And then you're like, well, when they called, it said Wells Fargo on it. Because they're using a spoofing app that spoofs the number. So it still comes in as it's a legit call. But if you called Wells Fargo yourself, they'd be like, sir, we don't ever ask you for your one-time password. We don't ever ask you for any of that. And the next thing you know, you're robbed. So that's not this when you're dealing with the mail. So that's what I don't like, and I think it's just terrible. So that's all I got for this one. I will be curious to see where this leads as more information comes out. And I want to see if they caught the ladies that they said came in with the gardening shears that beat the police that were way too slow to make the correct movements to be able to stop them. And so we'll follow up on it. We'll follow up. Don't know when that's going to be, but when I get more information about this, I will create another video for y'all, team, because I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best audience on the internet. Like, share, comment, subscribe. That's the big four. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all, team. I am out of here. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go check the mail, see if I got anything in there. Do you still get, when you go to check the mail, do you still get that feeling of, what is it? Do you still get like a dopamine hit when you go to check it, like just wondering what's in there? I don't really think it's like that anymore. Before, like, emails were a thing and, you know, social media and being able to get all your information immediately, and you had to wait for like letters and people to send you pictures in the mail and checks in the mail and different things like that, and updates on if you got the job or something like that. Like, you couldn't wait to check the mail. Like, you'd be actually sitting out in front on the steps waiting for the mail carrier to come. And that's when we had a good relationship with the mail carriers, because the mail carrier would come up, shift through the mail. I see you got a check here. They get your check. You'd be like, yeah, I've been waiting for this one. You kiss the check, tear it open. You already got your mail carrier razor. You tear it open, blow in it, pull your check out, look at the strip, make sure that, you know what I'm saying, the security strip is there, make sure that's a good check. And then you get ready to run off to the bank to cash it. And, you know, it's just good times, man. And, you know, we got to get back to appreciating the mail carriers and protecting them. Like, honestly, this is out of control, y'all. And it needs to stop before it gets worse. So, all right. Peace.